Facebook, here we go, Facebook Live. So we're coming in a few seconds. I want to just let you guys know that tonight is my 52nd episode. So I want to tell you ahead of time, there's going to be a lot going on. It's just me and Jimmy, my engineer and producer, are going to be coming on together. And that's going to start in a few minutes. If you want to share the show. Okay, here we go. Hi, everybody. It's Maria from What's the Story with Maria. How's it going? Good to see you. I want to welcome you to, believe it or not, our 52nd episode of What's the Story with Maria. Can you believe that? We have been running now for 52 consecutive weeks on Armed Radio. And so it's kind of our anniversary show. And so because it is our anniversary show, I wanted to invite my friend and producer of the show. He produces the show every week. He's also the engineer, and his name is Jimmy Bell. And so I wanted to, I said, Jimmy, if you don't mind, because he's always doing a million things out there, running a bunch of shows. I said, if you don't mind, please stay on for a few minutes and we can talk about how this whole thing started in the first place. So we want to let you know that if you folks come on, please feel free to share the show at any point in time. This is our anniversary show, and we are very proud of that. Okay, so Jimmy Bell, you still there?
I'm here.
Okay.
How you doing, everybody?
So this, everybody, is Jim Bell. He is not just the voice that you hear on the show on the side there, but he is the guy that literally, if it were not for Jimmy Bell, the show would not be able to go through armeddigitalmedia.com, Armed Radio, and I do Facebook Live it as well, but it wouldn't be going anywhere. So,
TuneIn.com.
What is it?
TuneIn.com.
TuneIn.com. Okay, so Jimmy, why don't you tell us a little bit like what you do behind the scenes there? Cause you run all the shows, right?
Yeah, there used to be 15. I think we're down to 11.
Okay, so there's 11 shows.
Just weren't showing up.
A lot of them don't show, like they don't show up to do the shows.
They do a few shows and then they got bored of it, or they didn't want to do the research. You know.
Yeah. Well, it's
people, they think they want to be on the radio.
Right, but it's more work than people can imagine, right?
Yeah, it is.
I'm going to turn you up a tiny bit on my speaker so I can hear you come through a little more. Yeah. So anyway, that's a really good point. So the thing is, you know, it's exciting when someone says, hey, you want to do a radio show? I mean, I don't know what everybody else's reaction is, but mine is like, I'm a big ham. So I'm like, yeah, why not? But it is more, you have to give it a lot of thought. You have to put your show together. And I guess that not everybody wants to, it doesn't work out for everybody, right?
No, it don't. Like I said, they think they can just talk for an hour and entertain people. It's a lot harder than what it is.
Right. Well, an hour is longer than anybody would ever think. So it seems like,
I know most people do 4-hour shows on regular radio.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah, they 3 or 4 hours. Yep.
And then what? They condense it down? They edit it down?
No, I'm not talking about the people on this radio station. I'm talking about the one on
like
terrestrial radio.
Yeah. Okay. So what you do, Jimmy, now, like you and I, when we first started doing this, which was probably a year ago now, when we first started doing it, the first thing I did was I called you, and then you helped me hook into the station through, having the same software, right? So that's how it starts.
Yeah, the TeamSpeak.
The TeamSpeak. And then now from my end, so I have to the behind the scenes of this is I have a microphone that goes directly into the TeamSpeak, which Jimmy gets that. And then I have another microphone that goes into my Mac, which is the Facebook Live. And so I like to do two different ones just in case one doesn't come through and screws up.
Which a lot of time either I forget to record or the audio comes out like shit.
Right, exactly. So I've always been one of those just in case people. It's kind of in my nature to back it up.
I'm not arguing with you.
Yeah. No, but sometimes it's helped both of us. Like one time my Facebook didn't come through, and so my friend Steve Fernandez helped me lift the the audio from your side, and then the some sides it doesn't go through with this microphone, and we've taken this Facebook Live file. So there's a lot more to it than people think. And you also are, like, sometimes, especially on Tuesday nights, you're running a lot of different shows, right?
Well, we got rid of one, but I'm doing 4 shows, 5 hours.
4 shows, 5 hours. And you run the commercials in between and all that too, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
So has there ever been a time where you're like kind of caught and you don't remember where you're at? Has that ever happened?
Absolutely. Few times.
Yeah, I can
Especially
imagine.
when I do this show, Stone.
Well, if you do it stoned, I can imagine that would be the hardest. But you're pretty good at that, though, right?
That makes me focus.
Does it make you focus when you take a little?
So I do things in chronological order
Oh, really?
rather than do step 1, 7, go back to 3.
Okay, so it helps you
And
focus a
I'm
little bit.
basically scrambling at that point.
So, Jimmy, would you say that you're an advocate for legalizing marijuana?
Absolutely. You wouldn't believe the ailments it gets rid of.
I do believe it. I mean, I don't do that stuff at all anymore. I don't do anything anymore.
It's the modern day, what do you call it, penicillin?
Yeah, you might be right. I mean, I'm not going to argue with you. And God knows it brings in revenue. So that's another way to look at it. So I'm not arguing with you.
The
But
only time you shouldn't do it is when you drink it. It intensifies the drinking so you get twice as drunk and you become belligerent.
okay, you know what? I believe you. But wait, do pot smokers become belligerent, or it's just when they drink, right?
Only when they drink. Yeah,
So if you had to give up one, which one would you give up? The drinking or the pot?
yeah, the drinking.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So anyway, and you have a show called Pot Talk, right?
Politically offensive talk.
Oh, that's what it stands for.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah.
Of course, we smoke joints on the show.
Well, I kind of heard that sound once in a while. Yeah, I hear that from time to time, and then sometimes Paul starts coughing. So maybe
Yes, he's got lousy lungs. And so do I.
Okay, so we'll call Paul Lousy Lungs Paul. All right. That's it. That'll be his new nickname. All right. So Jimmy, you do that behind the scenes, and then you have to does it go straight to the radio airwaves, or do you have to do something to digitalize it or something?
No, I just time it. And it goes by, I got to schedule the hours I'm going to be on.
Okay.
The radio station.
Oh, okay.
And once it starts, it goes for the 5 hours. It's up to me to stop the shows in between.
And what's the radio station that it goes through?
TuneIn.com.
TuneIn.com. Okay,
It's
so
a free app. Once you get in there, you search for Armed Radio.
okay.
And there's one station with Armed Radio, and that'll bring you in there. She's a gorgeous looking platinum blonde with bright red lips.
I see you've always talked about that platinum blonde. Do you know who that girl is?
No, Joe does.
Oh, Joe knows the girl.
Yeah.
Well, do you think he would introduce you to the girl? Because
Yeah, well, I know the last time he did one that she was from England, so I didn't think I was going to meet her.
Oh, all right, okay. Well, I mean,
I
she's
don't know where this one was from.
yeah, that's true. Joe does like the English girls a little bit, doesn't he?
He's more partial to the dark ones.
Yes, that's true too. But I think he likes the Russian girls, if I'm not mistaken. Am I right?
No, not that I know.
Oh, okay. Because sometimes I listen to Joe Rocks Live, and he's talked about a couple of Russian models from time to time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They're on. I do a couple of Russian models on the show.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
All right.
He's behind the velvet rope with Irina.
Yes, she's so nice.
Yeah, leadership with Biana Kovic.
Oh, right. Yeah, I have to listen to that show. You know what show I love is the All You Can Eat. Rob, is it?
Yeah, he is. He's got a good voice.
Yes, and he's really. I love food and I love talking about food. So he's one of these. I do. I can't help it. It's like one of my favorite things. So Rob is one of these guys that I love listening to him. Like sometimes I'll just be in the car driving to work or something, and I'll listen to him, and he just he can talk for himself for an hour about food,
Right.
which is amazing.
And keep you entertained.
Yeah, absolutely. So let me ask you something now, Jimmy. Were you one of these guys as a kid or in high school that was were you like the AV guy?
The what?
The AV. Remember in high school, the audio visual?
Audio video? No, not at all.
No? So how did you get into this?
I got thrown out of high school, trade school, actually.
I can't believe
Went
it.
back for a GED. And
No.
then from there, I went to electronic, and I got an electronic engineering degree.
Is that true?
Yeah, I spent 8 hours a day for 8 months.
Okay. And so that's how you know how to do all this stuff, right?
No, the stuff that I learned was card punch, mag tape. This is back in the 70s.
So it's nothing like that now, right?
Well, you got to keep up or somehow. Like I said, I'm still fumbling around with Windows 10.
Yeah, well, it's you know what the problem is with this computer stuff? It's constantly upgrading, like
Yeah,
constantly.
It's constantly changing. That's why I say if you don't keep up with it or work in that field, you're going to lose it, which I did for about 20 years, and then I'm just catching up again.
Yeah. Oh my God. I know. So sometimes that's what happens. I feel the same way. It's like you constantly have to keep up with things. All right. Well, Jimmy, I want to thank you because I wouldn't be able to do this without you. And I don't know how you handle all those shows, but you do. So I thank you. And I thank Joe Rocks. I texted him earlier. I'm like, if he wants to call in, he can call in. And, you know, I just want to thank you guys because I really appreciate being part of the Armed Radio family. Also, there's something called Pod TV, P-O-D TV. And that is where everybody, all the radio stations, radio shows try to Facebook Live. Now, it doesn't always happen, but do you Facebook Live all your shows?
I don't know.
Yeah. It's a lot to do. It's
Paul
fun.
doesn't want to be seen.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, he's, like I said, even if I do go live, it's just me. He's hiding in the corner.
Oh, I see what's happening there. All right. All right. Well, listen, tell Paul I said hello. I know he gets a little jealous because I pay more attention to you, but you're kind of my, you know, you're my saving grace over there. So thank you. And, you know, I'll talk to you before the show ends. But everybody, that is Jim Bell. And we wouldn't be able to do the show without Jim Bell. So we wanted to thank him.
Show.
All right. And next week, we're going to be in Boston, Woburn, actually, at my cousin Rena's house. We're going to be Facebook Living from there and broadcasting from there. And Jim may join us. So that would be exciting. For some reason now, I'm seeing the hearts that come up and stuff, but I am not seeing people commenting. So I don't know if there's something wrong with the Facebook Live. But if you are on Facebook Live, let me see. Maybe I'll comment and see if this comes through. Because I am not seeing anybody's comments tonight. Oh, there they are. Okay, now they're coming up. Good. All right. For some reason, it was a little bit stuck. So let me see who's here. Jason Peck has joined us. Edward Hahn Jr. has joined us. Joe Gulla has joined us. Brendan Doherty. Edward says, hi, Maria. Hi, sweetheart. That's Dr. Eddie. He is a hand surgeon. He's my friend. Michael Brill, Alex Rusin, Wendy Tesseroni has joined us. Julie Angelina. Hi, Julie. My friend Julie is from Australia. She has the most unbelievable show. She goes Facebook Live from Australia, I think every day, right, Julie? It's called The Real Drunk Housewives. It's hysterical. And I'm a big fan. And anyway, she is the Gina Lola Brigida of Australia out there. Kimberly Travis has joined us. Vincent Palumbo. Hi, Vinny. Hi, Kimberly. Kimberly, your Yankees and my Red Sox are neck and neck. It's like, forget about it. I'm sweating bullets every chance I get there. Rena Crugnali Berge has joined us. Now, this is very special. And Rob Crugnali. Hi, Robbie and Rena. Next, a week from tonight, which is July 17th. Well, tonight is the 52nd episode of What's the Story with Maria, which means we've done a whole year. Jimmy reminded me of this a few weeks ago. We've done a whole year of shows, which is really like amazing. I'm so happy, that I get to do this. And I'm so grateful to Armed Radio, armeddigitalmedia.com, Armed Radio Global. These guys help all these shows come through, and they give us a platform to do all our stuff. Now, Rena, my cousin Rena Crugnali Berge, has offered her home to us next week, a week from tonight. We're going to Facebook Live and broadcast live from Woburn, Massachusetts, which is just like 10 minutes out of Boston. My family lives in that area, the North Shore. And so we're having a giant family party. And Jim Bell may join us. We'll see what happens. He gets busy. But if he can join us, and he's a Woburn guy, he told me, so he may broadcast from there as well, which is going to be amazing. So we're going to have a little family party. And I am beside myself about next week. So anyway, I wanted to let you guys know about that. Scott Fagan has joined us. Hi, Scott Fagan. Yes, Vinny, that is a year, and I'm pretty proud of myself. I got to say, I'm not one to always pat myself on the back. I'm one to be proud of myself, but I am going to pat myself on the back. However, if I pat myself on the back, I have to pat Jimmy Bell on the back because we do this together, and he's great. Rachel Pierce has joined us. Oh, my God. Chris DiPiero has joined us. Chris DiPiero, every week, if you don't come on, I'm in a full-on panic. Chris DiPiero was my very first guest, and I'm actually going to go through my guests, my list of guests from the year at some point because I keep a record. I'm very good about keeping records of things. As a kid, I kept a lot of journals. I'm one of those kids, and I wrote a lot of things down and lyrics and all kinds of stuff. And for the show, I started just like a little simple book, and I'm so glad I did because I went back today. I hadn't looked at it since I did it. And I wanted to be surprised. So I left it that way. I didn't go over and plan what I was going to say. I just like flipped through quickly right before, like literally 5 minutes before. And I couldn't believe how many amazing guests I had. Speaking of which, Chris DiPiero was my very first show, my very first guest, he and Susan Davis. And the reason I invited them was because I was so scared of doing this show, but I wanted to do it so badly, and I was so scared, and I thought I need someone like Chris DiPiero to be like standing next to me in case I screw up. And he is he's done radio, he's a filmmaker, he's a radio guy, he's a videographer, he's a documentarian, he does everything, and he knows a lot of technology, but he's also like my brother. So somebody that I literally am. We might as well, we're brother and sister in acting and performing, and we're Italian. And I knew that I would feel calm being around him. So I had him on the first show, and with our buddy, Susie Davis, who we love. So thank you, Chris DiPiero. And I also want to say that Chris, when I'm going to Italy the week of between the 6th and the 16th, and that Tuesday that falls in between there, I think it's the 12th, Chris DiPiero is going to run What's the Story with Maria. He is going to be the guest host. And as he put it, Chris, as you said, you're going to be the Joan Rivers to my Johnny Carson. So that is, he's going to be doing that, and I'm excited about that. Now, Joe Gulla, I love this woman. Joe, I love you. Last night, Joe Gulla came in downtown, and we hung out and had such a nice time. Joe is and he's come up to mess hall, and Joe's just one of these guys that, a brother from another mother. So I love you, Joe. And big things are happening for Joe. I think your new play got picked up, and I was reading about it today, and I can't remember the name of it. So if you want to type it in, Joe is a playwright, and his new play just got picked up, and that is really exciting. So if you want to type that in, Joe, if anybody wants to type in anything that you are working on, please, that is the purpose of the show. The mission of the show is to show off my friends. Hi, Jeffrey Campbell, who I love. Jeffrey Campbell, fellow Gemini, who I went to see his piano recital. I think it was last week, Jeffrey, if I'm not mistaken. It was a torrential downpour, and Judy and I were in the car going over to Queens, and we got caught on the FDR in this, like, literally flash floods. But we made it. It was a come hell or high water thing, and the high water came and the hell came because there's a lot going on in the news. So it was hell or high water, but we got there, and Jeffrey was the star pupil, of course. You stole the show, Jeffrey. That's all I'm going to say. Yes, everybody, that's Jeffrey Campbell, that you know, that the accountant Jeffrey Campbell, but he's also an exquisite pianist. So that was happening there. And yes, Chris DiPiero says, thanks, Big Jim. You're right. Jim Bell is our saving grace. So epic anniversary. Rena Crugnali Bergie said that. Rena, I cannot believe it. Now I'm going to come home Monday. And then we'll have all that time to talk and figure stuff out and get all our food ready. All my cousins are coming. And then Tuesday is the day. So Dom Giovanni has joined us. Hi, Dom Giovanni. Oh, my God. Gina Savino has joined us. You know what that means? Everybody clap. Everybody. Well, there's nobody here but me. Gina Savino. That's right. When Gina Savino comes on, we all clap. We've been doing that, something that started like, I think, week 10, and forget about it. Yay. That's right, Gina. Show 52. It is awesome. I'm really excited about it. And Jim just made a really good point. He said that a lot of people don't, like really last that long because, people think that this is easy. And well, for me, someone like me who's a big ham and loves to talk, I can talk forever. And I always say that to my friends. But what I have the luxury tonight, I'm by myself because I wanted to do the anniversary show. But what's really has made the show what it is my guests. And my guests are friends, all my friends. So, and there's more to come. There's so many more that I'm booking that are coming. Joe English has joined us. Rebecca Ray. Hi, Rebecca Ray. Rebecca Ray, we have to get you on the show. That's Kate Greer's friends. That was part of her movie. That's what she told me. So, Rebecca, we have to talk. We have to meet and make this happen. Edward Hahn says, us too. Well, I love you guys. Kia Nelson's joined us. Valentine Ryder has joined us. Hello. Suzanne Murray. Sergeant Suzanne Murray. I love you, Sue. And I won't say what you posted on Facebook today, but I could not stop laughing. I could not stop laughing. It had to do with someone who smuggled drugs into the country and had to be searched. And I will not even tell you what Sue, but if you want to go to Sue's page, she is one of the funniest people. Sue was also, Sue, I'm going to toot your horn here. I believe it was 1998. Sue was a highly decorated police officer. Didn't you? It wasn't the most drug busts in New York City in 1998. Suzanne Murray? Type that in and tell me if I'm correct. I remember something like that. Isabella Raskowski has joined us. That's my cousin Marisa. Marisa, I'm jumping out of my skin. Next Tuesday, we're at Rena's house. All of us. I think Gina. I was texting with Joyce, and I'm hoping you guys can make it. Gina and Joyce are going to be there. My sister is going to be there. My sister Carla Schleif is going to be there. Marisa. Hopefully Marisa's family. Ronnie, Robbie, all my cousins. Oh my God. Cora Gauthier is joining us. What I'm trying to get together is, I was telling Jimmy earlier that when our family came over, it was these brothers and sisters, the Savinos, came over from Italy, and they worked their tails off and just kept going and going. And we were all, we all came from that. We all came from these amazing immigrants that came from Italy and worked really hard here. So what I'm going to try to really do is get representatives. I'm getting my cousins that are all like Gina and Joyce, or my Uncle Louie, and we, of course, are my grandfather Jerry. And then there's, Joe's family. There's so many great people. We want to get my Cora's, my Aunt Maria, and we got to get someone from Sam Magalina's family. We got to do this because we have to represent our families, and we're all coming together and having a big party on What's the Story with Maria. And yes, if Jim Bell comes, hey, I'm putting this out there too. I have wanted to get Jim Bell a makeover now for some time. So we have many, many, many hairdressers in our family, and perhaps on camera we can groom Jimmy Bell here. I mean, so much can be done live, and we're gonna have food. I don't know what our food's gonna be, but Marisa and I were trying to get like a potluck thing going, so everybody can bring something and we can talk about our food. All right, so Joe, let me see. Joe Gullah is saying, is there a theater in NYC that would enable me to see What's the Story with Maria in IMAX? Joe, there's got to be, and we have to make this happen. Susan Varon has joined us. Susan Varon, I'd love to have you on the show at some point, honey bunny. Susan Varon is an amazing actress. She's done a ton of stuff. Anthony Barilli has joined us. He was on our dad show, The Art of Being a Great Dad, a few weeks ago. Roberta McAvoy has joined us. MacGyver, I'm sorry. I always say that. Roberta, I love you to death. And she's my Boston buddy. We're going to broadcast from Boston next week, honey bunny. Lawson Megan has joined us. And Kutu, my friend from high school who has Blade Salon in Old Westfield, Connecticut. Now let me go through all my hairdresser friends. Eddie always joins us. He's out there. Joyce and Gina are at Joyce's Unisex Salon, 132 Ferry Street in Everett, Mass. My sister Carla, her hair salon is a European Flair that's on Main Street in West Concord. So if you need a haircut, and who the hell doesn't need some grooming, go see those wonderful people. What area you were in. And Sue, oh my God, Susan Campanero, Michael Plosky, hello. Susan Campanero, you're in Italy, aren't you? So Susie Camp, and I think they're 6 hours ahead. So let me see so it's the middle of the night now. Susan Campanero is with Janine Molinari and Darius Frowner. They did Coppa Italia, which is this big talent competition. I think it's kind of like, and you can type it in, Susie. I think it's kind of like the equivalent of like America's Got Talent, but in Italy. And they were like the teachers and choreographers and musical directors and all that. And then they do like a competition. So Darius and Susan and Janine Molinari have been in Naples. They were in Naples today. I think they were in Rome, and it's so amazing. I told my dad about it. So this is really exciting stuff. Okay, I'm going to take a sip of my delicious. Now, I like things that taste good. My shoulder's killing me this week. I'm like in bad shape. I'm all beat up. But so this is what I drink in the summertime, because I'm trying to cut back on the Diet Coke, which I'm crazy about. But I make myself limeade, not lemonade, limeade. I love limes. And so I get water. I slice up a bunch of delicious limes, and then I throw Splenda in there so that it's not sugar. And it's off the hook and delicious. So I am enjoying that. My limeade, I make big batches of it. You can do it with all kinds of fruit. You can throw peaches in there, strawberries in there, blueberries. I like to make like fruity water in the summertime. In the winter too. You know what else? I even put watermelon in there. I love watermelon. Sometimes I make watermelon coolers. Like I'll blend it down, and it's, oh my God, I love stuff like that. I like anything fruity. I'm a fan of the fruit. It's no pun intended, but intended. Okay, so I'm going to go through this. And if you guys have any questions or any comment, I'm going to try to look up from time to time. If you want to see a certain guest on this year, or you're like, hey, how come you never have so-and-so on, or a certain food that you want to have on or something, please let me know. I'm going to keep typing. I'm going to keep typing. Let me know if you would like anything special, because I want to make people happy, and that's part of it. Okay, so Joseph Hunter has joined us. Gene Simpson. Hi, Gene Simpson. Love you, honey. I'm going to be in Boston next week. I wish you were there. Maybe you will be there. Gene's out in Indiana. No, Gene, where are you? Illinois? Eric Eves Garcia, oh my God, has joined us. Julie Cesari, I love you to death. I think you just moved to Malibu. Julie gave me my first job in New York City theater. She hired me. She was a director at Tony Tina's wedding, and she hired me. And I got my equity card because of you, Julie, and I want to thank you for that. So Leo, oh my God, Leo Rodriguez has joined us. Leo is my great friend. I miss you, Leo. I know you're busy now. He's opening up he's always doing something with restaurants. And so he's opening up a new complex. So Leo, thank you. He's been like our accidental intern, so to speak. So I just want to go through this. I'm going to go through our shows and our guests. The whole mission of my show has been, what's the story with Maria? When I first talked to Joe, when we were going to do the show, I said, I want to do, he said, you can do anything you want. I said, well, I'm in the entertainment business, and most of my friends are in the entertainment business, or they're creative in some way. And I know what the day-to-day struggle of that is. And also there's such beauty in it. Like, would it be okay if I interviewed creative people? And he said, sure, do anything you want. And, and I looked at some of the shows that were on Armed Radio, and they tended to lean towards the right, which I'm not on that side, but I'm not all the way on the left either. I'm like kind of in the middle somewhere. But middle to the left. And he said, no, it doesn't matter about that. Just do what you want. Just one, guideline, just don't be hurtful to any group. And I thought that was a really great way to put it. So, and I've tried not to be hurtful to any group, and I hope that I have succeeded in that. So let me just keep checking here. All right. Janine Molinari has joined us. I was just talking about you guys in Italy. I'm so impressed with all that you're doing there, Janine. I'm a big fan. Dance Molinari is in Italy right now. It's like Dance Molinari, Italy. It's like amazing. I love it. And I speak fluent Italian. So maybe sometime I'll meet you guys there if you're ever there again. We're going in September, Judy and I and Catherine Salvio. Dave Downs. Hey, Maria, what did you cook for yourself for tonight? Dave, you are so, I don't know what the word is. You are just very special because you're right. I did cook for myself, but I didn't cook. And I'll tell you why. I said, what do you want to eat, Maria? Since it's your show, you're celebrating. And this is what, I'm the kind of person that I'm around a lot of people all the time. All my jobs have to do with, in a way, being social. I'm a bartender, I'm a singer, I'm a teacher. I go on auditions. Everything I do, I'm a musician. I manage a bar. I'm always around people, right? So I said, what do I want? So this is what I do. When I'm done working, no matter what job I'm at, I like to just come home. And usually my favorite food, and here's what it is. Thank you, Dave, for prompting this. And the segment of our show that is our food section is called Go Ahead, Keep Eating, which of course is my cousins. We're going to have to do that next week as a group because it started with my cousin Ronnie and Robbie and all those guys because we love Raging Bull. And that's that part of the movie where it goes, go ahead, keep eating. So anyway, that's what we say to each other. So this is like my snack of choice when I come home. And if I could have this every day, I would have it every day, except that my blood pressure would be through the roof. I love salami. I just love like peppered salami. I've had that on the show a few times. I think and also because my first show with Chris Shapiro, we had peppered salami and mozzarella and tomatoes. I love this stuff. I shouldn't eat it, but I love it. My other favorite thing is prosciutto. Oh my God, do I love prosciutto. I go crazy for prosciutto. So I also am a person that loves vegetables. Like I love salads. And so I slice up some cucumbers. These little peppers, right? If you go, you can get them at Trader Joe's, you can get them at Costco, you can get them at most of your supermarkets. They come in little bags, and I think they're called sweet peppers. These little ones are, I don't even know what to say about these. They're so sweet and delicious that sometimes I just eat them by themselves. So, and here I put a little radicchio and endive chopped up, and I'm going to make I put a little oil and vinegar on this, just plain balsamic, just plain olive oil. Of course, the olive oil from Italy is the best, and Catherine Salvio has purchased that for me in the past. And this is what I love to eat. And then of course I have to have bread on the side. So that's like, if I'm just home by myself and I'm on the computer or I'm watching MSNBC, that's what I'm eating. Now, what is my favorite dessert? Coconut cake. Coconut cake. If you want to make me happy and it's my birthday, get me a coconut cake. That is my favorite thing. This particular one I got at a Dominican bakery around the corner from my house, which is called Floridita Bakery. I love it. It's open like at the crack of dawn in the morning, which is when I get home from work. So it's me and the people going to work. We get in line, and there's a line out the door, like from the second they open. And I always get like different things that you can get bread, you can get pastelitos, you can get a dessert, and this is my favorite, the coconut cake. Now, Magnolia Bakery also makes a delicious coconut cake, and it's not that I'm not a fan of Magnolia. It's fine. It's great. And, it got bakeries on the map in a lot of ways, but it's not the be all end all for me. I tend to like Italian things more. However, their coconut cake is the best I have ever had. It's super fluffy frosting. So if you're going to get anything at Magnolia Bakery, I think the cupcakes are overrated. That's just me. I think they're too sweet for me. But The coconut cake, I cannot say enough about. It's my favorite. My second favorite dessert is lemon meringue pie. Oh my God in heaven. If you get me a lemon meringue pie, I'll freak out. So sometimes people say to me, hey, can I buy you a drink? Because I work in bars and I don't drink. Thank God I don't drink anymore. I used to drink a lot. And I partied until the cows came home. And then the cows came home. And I couldn't party anymore because the cows were there. So anyway, but I say to people, no, I don't need you to buy me a drink. Buy me a lemon meringue pie. Buy me a coconut cake. Buy me a cannoli. For the love of God, that's another one of my favorite desserts. I love dessert. All right, so Lisa Lem Chaining has joined us, and she said lime is the best. Yes, I prefer lime to lemon. Yes, Leo Rodriguez, limeade. I slice up limes very, very, very thin in little circles. Put Splenda and delicious bottled water and a ton of ice. Ton. And I make delicious limeade. Oh my God. It's so good. I love it. And it's so refreshing in the summertime. So Dave, how was that? How did I do, Dave Downs? Did you like it? All right, good. Leo, you are so, oh, thank you, Leo. Leo said I'm so friggin' cute. I think I can say that. All right, Janet Betta has joined us. Kate Greer, watermelon. Yes, Kate. Excuse me. Watermelon in water with a little bit of Splenda and other like blueberries, raspberry. Oh my God. Fruit. That's how you drink more water in the summertime, which is when you need it the most. But anytime, because sometimes people don't want to just drink water because it's like boring. But you throw a little fruit in there and forget about it. All right, so I want to kind of recap the year in What's the Story with Maria, year in review. Oh, yes, by the way, back there is my Rodan and Fields, one of my lines. I just want to have it there subconsciously to remind you that I sell that. And it's great stuff. And look at my lashes. Look how long they are. Lash boost. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to go through this as quickly as I can, and I will stop to comment. I may not be able to look at your comments because I'm looking down, but I'm here. All right, my first show, July 18th, last year. Chris DiPiero, as I said, my sweetheart, my brother in crime and entertainment. I love you, Chris. I really do. I can't say enough about Chris DiPiero. And if you need someone to videotape your wedding, videotape your parties, videotape your events, Chris is your guy, okay? And I can give you his number. You can contact him directly. Chris DiPiero was my first guest along with Susan Davis. Chris is a filmmaker. He's an actor. He does everything. Radio guy, anything Chris does. And he's going to be hosting my show the first week in September. I think it's the 11th maybe, or the 12th. Susan Davis, actress, amazing person. In Tony and Tina's wedding, she was also in Chris's movie. Maybe movies now. Okay, my second week. So week one, got it out of the way, right? Second week, I'm like, oh boy, how do I top week one? So I had my musical director, has been my musical director for 25 years, Lynn Portis. I cannot say enough about Lynn Portis. She's a genius. I've always said that. Genius! And Jay Rivera. He is an actor, a singer, a filmmaker, the sweetest guy, and he's also a personal trainer. So if you want somebody to motivate you and you're in the New York area, he'll also, if you have enough money to fly him out, people have done it, he'll fly out and personally train you. So there's a lot of bigwigs that have done that. So they were my second week. My third week, Shanna Sharp, singer, songwriter, bar owner now. I actually, Shanna is one of the owners of Mess Hall. I am the weekend manager at Mess Hall, 2194 Frederick Douglass Boulevard in Harlem. It's an amazing place. It's really fun. They have 50 kinds of bourbon. They have an amazing array of craft beers, and they have an incredible staff. I love them, and the community is off the hook. I love working there. So Shanna Sharp, and she is also in Siren, a group called Siren, and she came on. She wasn't married yet. She came on with her fiance, Alexander Chosich, and he is a filmmaker and photographer, and also he does these 3D creates 3D art for architects. So he's like a really smart guy. So they were week 3. Week 4, Paul Lucas, playwright and producer, has produced amazing, just an array. You can go to all their websites. Joe Cangelosi, interior design company of Joe Cangelosi Designs. He is my friend, and he's doing amazing. Lux Magazine gave him an incredible review of up and comers. Week 5, Susan Campanero, Michael LaRue. Susan Campanero has been my comic sidekick for I don't even know how long, 25, almost 30 years. We've been writing comedy together and doing shows. And I think we've been talking, I think we're going to start doing more. So I'm just checking everybody's there. Okay, I can't. Michael LaRue owns Rue LaRue Cafe, which is the Golden Girls Cafe, and it moved. So it closed in the location it's at, and it is going to resurface in a different location, and I will keep you posted on that. Okay? Okay, the 22nd, which is my mom's birthday of August, I wanted to do a show and really kind of tribute to my mom, so I did do that. I did a tribute to my mom, which was very special, and Judy joined me on that show, Judy Mesa. She is a Cuban-born business owner, and she is incredibly talented, although a lot of people don't know that because she's kind of shy about it. And Catherine Salvio joined me. Catherine Salvio helped me get all the technical stuff together with Jimmy when I was freaking out about it. I had no idea how to do it, and she came over and helped me, and so I will forever be indebted to Catherine Salvio. She came on that day too, and she had gone to acting school. And so what I did with this particular episode was I focused on people that are talented that decided not to go into the business. And a lot of people do that. They're like, you know what, like Peter Ainello talked about this. He does this on, he sings and does cabaret shows, but he's a director, has a doctor of education and went that route because, everybody's different. So I respect what people do. Not all of us do the same thing. The next week, Penny James, who's the owner of Penny James Salon, amazing. That's on 60, I think it's 3060th Street, right near Madison. And Will T. Hall, they were Brits. So I did the British Appreciation Night. And Will T. Hall is a musical director. He's an arranger, songwriter, and composer. One of the most adorable human beings on the planet Earth, Will T. Hall. The next week, we had Billy Hipkins. Billy Hipkins is a playwright, wrote a one-man show. He is a Broadway dresser. He's dressed so many people on Broadway, and he's still doing that. Gabby Cardenas, she's a dance teacher, a dancer, violinist. She was on our show. Episode 9, I did a tribute to 9/11, and that was just me, and Catherine Salvio was in the audience, and she helped me take calls, and people called in, and it was very, very special. And I did a tribute to the first responders, and that is one of my favorite shows to date. And first responders, I don't have enough words to thank you. I wrote a song on my second CD called Amputated Skyline that was in response to that, to the first responders, a tribute. So that, I love first responders. Okay, the next week we did Scott Evan Davis, who is a composer, and Michael Raymer, photographer. Now, Scott Evan Davis, I just saw on Facebook today, Indigo, which is the show that he wrote, is coming very, very, very soon. So this is really, really, really big. So look out for that. Indigo. Scott Evan Davis was on our show. Okay, I'm going to stop here for a second. This is very special and sad at the same time. So on episode 11, we had Jackie Burke, who is a book writer and animator, and we had Trent Armand Kendall. And Trent Armand Kendall is an amazing singer, band leader. He's a writer. And very sadly, I think it was last Wednesday, or maybe the week before, we lost Trent, passed away in his sleep. Very sad. So he was only 52 years old, and we love you, and we want to put that out there. You never know when you're going to see someone for the last time, so be good to people. And that's all I'm going to say. All right. Emma the next week, Emma and Dana Nicholson, they are my neighbors, literally next door. So they were here because it was we were in October and we were doing the playoffs, and they are both huge baseball fans. Dana is a Cubbies fan, and Emma is a Missouri. I have to think. St. Louis fan. So they're rivals, and I had them on. And then Heather Powell, who was my neighbor next door before they moved in, she moved away because she got married, and she is also in the Army Reserves, and she called in. And I love Heather. I love my neighbors. I have the best neighbors. The next week, Marcus Simeone and Kitty Strabella. Marcus Simeone, amazing cabaret singer, amazing, has albums, a million albums. And Kitty is a producer, and she for Miranda Music, and she produced, I'm pretty sure, all of Marcus's CDs and a lot of cabaret artists. If it wasn't for people like Kitty Strabella, a lot of us wouldn't be here. Okay, the next week, Michael Leon Woolley, who is a singer, voiceover artist, actor. He lives in LA. And Greg Schlotthauer. We focused on the Bi-Coastal Show. Greg is a singer and songwriter. Amazing guy. I worked with him last night. Then we had our first on-location show, and that was at the Mayo Performing Arts Center in Morristown, where I teach. And Kathy Roy Spees, my boss, best boss I ever had, by the way, director of education. We filmed it from the actual theater. She was out there with Darius Frowner, who is my co-teacher out there, and Darius does an amazing amount of stuff. He's in Italy right now. He was in Jamaica right before that. He's going out to Colorado to do a show. I can't say enough about Darius, musical director. Okay, so then our Halloween special, oh my God. Dominic Pupa, comedian and producer. Amazing. He does like a bunch of, he's done a bunch of shows, and now my brain is going a mile a minute, but and Lavinia Draper was here. She was a little drunk, so Dominic and I had to keep her. He does the Long Island Medium. That's what it just came to me. All right, so he produces the Long Island Medium. The next show was the New York Marathon show. Darcy Blakesley, singer, voiceover artist, actress. She came in from California to do the New York Marathon, and she ran it for the first time. And I had Rich Campbell, musical director, blues guy. He plays guitar, he plays bass. And it was his 18th marathon. That was such a great show. Okay, then we did a second on-location show, and that was at the Stephanie O Show in Long Island, all the way out in the airport. And Lynn Portis was there with me on the radio. We were on their radio station while we were doing our radio show. It was the craziest thing we've done to date. I don't recommend it. They were great. We trying to do two things at once, but we made it work, and Jimmy was instrumental in that. And also Lynn's husband, Joe Brennan, was there. And thank God for Joe Brennan. Thank God for people that love us enough to help us out with stuff. Eric Eves Garcia, next week on our Thanksgiving show, was here. Pianist, cabaret artist, amazing. One of my best friends. I love him. And Gregory Patterson was supposed to be here, but he got stuck in a snowstorm. It was a crazy night, and the planes couldn't land. So he called in. So Gregory, we ended up having him on a show again, but we love Gregory. The next show, Judy Jerome, Christina Doikas, and Tiffany Hodges of TikTok, a comedy series. They were on. The next week was a pre-Christmas show. Anthony Fett, Billy Goffey, and Leo Rodriguez. Leo Rodriguez! He was on that show. That was one of my most favorite fun shows. I still laugh about it. And the next week, we stayed with the holiday theme. It was Colleen Harris, because she was doing a Christmas show the next week. And Joe Cangelosi came back. He's of Joe Cangelosi Designs to talk about holiday decorations. Amazing show. Henry Kapersky next week. And he's a musical director, plays sax. He plays piano, plays the accordion, which he brought on the show. And Kian Martinez. He's a filmmaker from Australia. He was here with us. Next week was the week after Christmas. I think it was Christmas. Day after. Fran O'Neill, my favorite living artist. I own 3 Fran O'Neill paintings. I'm very proud of that. And she was on. And my cousin Marisa, who's going to be there next week at our family show, called in, and we talked about Christmas Eve foods, which is, to me, my favorite meal all year, Christmas Eve. Okay. Then we had, the next week was the Dog Fathers show, all dog stuff, right? We had Eddie Logan, George Lepore, Brian Reardon and their company, Maryview Hill. And they make dog products, amazing dog products. And Eddie's dog, Driscoll, was here with us. And that's another sad story. Driscoll, sadly, we lost Driscoll maybe like a month ago. So anyway, rest in peace, Driscoll. And look what you did. You inspired your dad to create a company. So you never know. People and dogs and souls come into our lives for reasons. And that was what that dog came in for. So that's that. Jeffrey Campbell the next week. Michael Plosky. Jeffrey Campbell, of course, he's an accountant by trade, but he's an incredible classical pianist. And can't say enough about Jeffrey. Michael Plosky of Michael Plosky Designs, clothing designer. He was here. We love Michael Plosky. The next week, Yvonne Cassidy. She's an Irish writer. Amazing. I don't know how many books she has, but it's an incredible amount. And I love her books. And they're good for teenagers too, by the way. Heidi Germain Schnapoff. She is a stunt woman, and she does a ton of stuff all over. And you want to follow her on Instagram, and I think it's Stunt Girl NYC. Okay, next week, Toby Blackwell, comedian, singer, actor, Navy guy. And Candace Harper, costume designer, art director, singer, voiceover artist. Next week, Barry Dubois, he's on once on in tour. He's an incredible guitar player and singer and actor. And Rachel Gavalets, who is an incredible, one of my favorite blues singers. She blows my mind. She's so good. So she was on the show. Diego Saxey plays the trumpet and sax. He was on, amazing musician, sweet as pie. And the Lauren Elder, Broadway and TV actor and star, also played the ukulele on the show. She was amazing, and Lauren's always doing something. Then the next week, we called it the Actor Show. It was Mel England and Susan Campanero. And the reason I had Susie come back on is because we did a special tribute to one of our friends, Jackie Carroll, who was in Tony and Tina's wedding and Chris's movies. And Jackie passed away this year. What an amazing woman Jackie Carroll was. The next show was the Bears and the Brits show. We had Wayne Bears, Michael Bobo, and Will Tianhall came back. Michael Bobo and Wayne Bears own a restaurant out in San Antonio, Texas. And also Michael has created Bobo 57, which is a cologne. Go check out bobo57.com. All right. And also the next week we had Walker Freeland, who's a radio personality, voiceover artist, and playwright. And Evan Sollers happened to be here as his boyfriend, and he's a hairdresser, amazing colorist. Evan the colorist, and does high-end models and stars and all that stuff. So Evan Sollers was here. Thank you, Evan, for coming on at the last minute. The next week, Juan Gil, our Colombian representative, and Judy Mesa. So that show, I focused on immigration. I focused on Dreamers, DACA. And that was really a great show. I love that show. So thank you for doing that. That was Judy is also a political commentator, so she did a whole recap, and it was really important about the elections coming up in November. Don't you dare forget to register, because I will never speak to you again. And get your friends to register, especially the young people. All right, the next show, Janine Molinari of Dance Molinari, and Anthony Patelis, director, screenwriter, actor. Okay, Henry Kapersky came on the next week again because I wanted to have more Henry, because I felt like he didn't get enough airtime. And then Leo Roriger joined us again. He was our intern that week. And then Billy Goffey showed up and with his guitar, and we played music, and it was so wonderful. Okay, the next week I had Chris DePiero come on because he's my love. And he brought his sidekick, Silvana Australia. I have listened to that podcast more times than any of the other podcasts because I can't stop laughing. That was the funniest of all the shows, in my opinion. For me, I still can't stop laughing. There was some funny stuff happening there. Next week, and we're getting to the end here. Dana Graber, voice.
Joined your channel.
Hi, Jimmy. How much time we have?
3 minutes.
3 minutes.
2.5.
2.5. Okay, I'm going to go fast. Dana Graber joined us, voice teacher. James Rubio joined us the next week. Kate Greer joined us after that. Richard Koch joined us. Kate Vargas, Lizzie Vargas, Lena Kaminsky of the Reckless Daughters. They are musicians. Next week, Mark Weiser, Poppy Kramer. Mark Weiser is a piano player of Shake, Rattle, and Roll. Poppy Kramer, famous comedian. Kenny Green next week and Yvette Clark. They are musical theater people. They're all over the country. The next week we did a Mother's Day show. Marisa joined me on the phone, and we did all kinds of fun stuff. That was really fun. And Barbara Campanero, Susie's mom, called in. That was so much fun. The next week, Joshua Stephen Cardis, Emma Stevenson joined us. Wow, we had a lot of people, and we're almost down to the end. How much time, Jimmy?
A minute.
A minute. Okay. The next week that we had Chris Sapiro co-hosted with me. Then we had Joe Gulla and Peter Iannello. Joe got a playwright, Peter, singer, doctor of education. Next week, Michael Plosky, Chocolatina, Lavinia were back for the Tonys. Then Gregory Patterson, finally, we got him on with Penny James, Hairdressers to the Stars. The next week was The Art of Being a Great Dad with Anthony Borelli and Scott Fagant. I love those guys. And then Chuck Santoro, Liz Nagengast were on before that. Last but not least, Terry Ross and Ollie Nelson joined us, jewelry designer, jazz drummer. That's who we had this year. We had all those people on our show. So we want to thank armeddigitalmedia.com, Armed Radio, Jimmy Bell. I love you to death. We may see him next week. Joe Rocks of Armed Radio, thank you so much. Just remember, keep doing what you're doing, okay? Don't measure yourself up to anybody else. Go for personal best. Stay spiritual, okay? It's very important that you stay aligned spiritually, okay? Love one another. You never know it's the last time you're going to see somebody. Be good to each other. We appreciate you. We love you. Jimmy, thank you for everything you do. I will possibly see you next week. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for listening. Thank you for coming back. And we'll see you next week in Boston.